Another day, another laugh. She already laughing.
And is.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Laughing Problems. This is your host, Malik Mayweather. With me today, I have Miss DeAvila. If you're looking for her on IG or YouTube, it's Ask DeAvila Sade. Correct?
It is. It
Ask
is.
DeAvila. See, I got that. I got
I
that link too. You
see.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, I'm
Okay.
prepared. I'm
All
prepared.
right. Come on. That's how you treat your guests.
Look, man. Look, I'm prepared. This is a good day. I move in a week, so it's a lot going on, but I had to get this one in. I wanted her to get on the show. DeAvila, I'm gonna let you tell him what you do because she's really superhuman. She thinks I'm superhuman because of all this, but I'm really just like somebody that don't like to lose, and I feel like if I can't get it complete, then I'm losing.
I feel you.
But she's the real superhuman. She helps people like me be efficient, etc. So
Man,
go ahead.
like each other, okay? So like you said, I am DeAvila Sade. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a millennial mental health therapist. So I like all things mental health, connecting mental health to the millennial generation. So providing individual counseling in about 4 states, so Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Georgia, as well as selling therapeutic products like journals and worksheets on my website, Ask DeAvila Sade. So yeah, I love all things mental health.
So you're just not gonna tell them about your book though.
I mean,
so I got wait. Nah. So what we gonna do is we gonna gas this because that's an accomplishment. I mean, I'm just starting to kind of get into
number
writing.
2. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like, she got 2 books out. Tell them about the first one.
So I created 2 journals. The first one is the Therapeutic Journal, which is our original one, and it was broken into 30 prompts, past, present, and future, and it helps you kind of gain this self-awareness for people that may not be ready for therapy or just, maybe not you can't afford it, whatever the case may be, you can still get that self-awareness and that healing. So it asks you like real prompts that's gonna make you think. Like the first prompt in the first one is, who has ever hurt you and never apologized for it? And it makes you sit down and just be like, dang, who am I mad at my dad? Like, who is it? So it really walks you through like some pains that you have so you can become more self-aware. And then you can take it into therapy because then you'll know, oh, this still bothers me. And then the second one is the Therapeutic Journal Toxic Relationships Edition, because we all want to be in healthy relationships, but we all have been in toxic relationships, as well as we have our own toxic traits. So it forces you to think about, how did I see love growing up in my family with my parents? How, what are my own toxic traits? What are my relationships, what they got in common? What are my non-negotiables in dating? So it really helps you to become self-aware as far as like addressing things that have impacted you and, pushing you forward to be in healthy relationships.
Well, that's cool. And I love that because I think, like you said, everything mental health. I've been through a mental health. I don't even know if I would call it a crisis. I would just say more of a dilemma. From just trying to in a season of growth. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a season of growth and it's like it's unfamiliar and you're going through things, you have some issues that you have to sort out on your own. There's nobody that can do it for you. You can get help and people to lead you in the right direction, like you yourself, and using your items, your books, and also your therapy sessions. But just it's certain things that you got to sit back, like you said, and ask those hard questions to yourself.
Man.
So today we asking the hard questions.
Ooh, child, I'm ready.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying not to get hot up in here. I'm like, I'm ready.
Yeah, these lights can make it hot.
No, just about like nerves.
What you saying?
I mean, the lights are kind of bright, which is good.
Yeah, definitely, because we want, we melanated in here.
We're gonna start melting, okay? All right.
What's up, man? No, but today, as usual, this is the podcast based on laughter. And we're gonna go over some jokes, and a lot of them have relationship implications. Like she said, she has a therapeutic journal that talks about toxic relationships. And I don't even like the word toxic, to be honest. I think it's just like trendy for everybody to say that now. I would say I don't know. I guess it describes the slow death of like your wanting for better or deserving, like feeling like you deserve better. So I can understand when you say toxic in that realm, because it's like
I mean, like you said, it's super trendy, but I think it's just a way of identifying unhealthy relationships and unhealthy behaviors. So yes, people might overuse it, like they overuse narcissism. I hate that. It's like, he's a narcissist. I'm like, that's a mental health diagnosis. Like, everybody's
Yeah.
not they're just assholes. Like, everybody's not a narcissist.
So people,
They're just bad people.
hey man, some assholes be winning. As you'll see, we'll talk about that a little bit in our last joke of the day. But today, the first joke of the day, and you'll see it because I've upgraded. So we're gonna put the joke right. Oh, don't hit the mic. We're gonna put the joke right here somewhere in this region. Yeah.
There we go.
And you're gonna actually be able to see the comedians that we're listening to on YouTube this time. And also go check this out. This podcast will be up on Spotify. This is episode 3 of season 1. We're trying to try to get 10 in before the season closes. And then the next one will be a lot more planned, a lot better. I'll be in Florida, so it'll be some different guests. But even
so it's only better because you're gonna have different guests.
No,
and you're gonna be in Florida.
No,
you just chop liver here in Memphis.
That's crazy. No, I'm just talking about because I'm moving into my own spot. So my setup will be different. I run into a little bit more bread with this job, so I'm going to try to get a camera that doesn't enable me to have to get up and press record in the middle of the podcast.
Okay.
So just we're gonna make some upgrades.
Delta Tech, but okay.
That's crazy. I can't even win.
You're toxic.
I'm gonna get attacked in the comments over this too. That's the crazy part. Hold up, it's gonna give us that little beep.
Is that gonna be loud?
I mean, no, it's not a beep. You don't hear that?
Yeah, I hear the little click.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah.
But
get you ready, get you prepared.
We're gonna edit. Well, I'm gonna try to edit those out. But if I can't, y'all still listening because we got good content. Good content. But this is Colin Jost, and he's talking about arguing being the default setting in your relationship.
I was dating someone recently. Have you guys ever been in a relationship where, like, the default setting is you're fighting? Like, at rest, you're fighting. Like, you wake up in the morning, you're like, why won't you try sushi? Just right into it. We would fight all the time. And when you fight with the person you're dating, it's never anything important. It's never like, no, this is the cause of slavery. It's never...
Oh, wow.
It's just the stupidest in the world. One day, my girlfriend and I were walking down the street. We saw a girl walking down the street barefoot. She was holding her shoes in her hand. My girlfriend was like, well, she's dumb and drunk. I was like, maybe your feet just hurt. She's like, why are you defending her?
Oh, okay.
We fought for an hour and a half about a stranger we would never see again. And then you ever fight so long, you just end up fighting about the fight you're having? Like, the original argument's over, you think you're out of the woods, and then she's like, I wish you wouldn't get so frustrated when we fought. And you're like, I wish you wouldn't say crazy all the time. And you're fighting for another 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And eventually, it's like that movie Inception. There's a fight within a fight within a fight.
That's actually a good movie.
And somewhere the two of you are in a van falling off a bridge in slow motion.
Okay.
And she's like, this is your fault. Well, it's good.
Okay.
Okay, so
okay.
My take, I've actually, I wouldn't even say, because everything hasn't been a relationship. Some things have, well, I don't know. I would classify a lot of stuff as relationships, even if they were, I guess, not.
Intimate?
No, I'm not even going to say intimate. I'm going to say, like, in terms of, like, me actually saying, hey, will you be my girl?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but some of these things were moving like a relationship, even if it wasn't so-called official.
Called dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, I've been in situations with folks that just like seem like they got an argumentative, like every bone in their body is argumentative.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think some of it I understand because it's like we just different. Fundamentally, men and women are different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It sucks because that's just how, I mean, Eve
are we different or are we reared differently?
I think we different. I think
biologically we really aren't.
I'm saying like y'all
different.
I'm saying y'all are definitely more emotional.
No, or are we taught to be more emotional? Are we given permission to be more emotional? But had you been reared the same way, you would probably be just as emotional.
The world doesn't accept men that are more emotional because it's seen as vulnerability.
So we living by the world standards, or we're gonna redefine what that looks like?
I mean, we can, but I'm just saying that it's in terms of getting things done or being, I guess you would say, which is unhealthy, obviously. Like, you shouldn't be in this position, but the way that everything is wired, who's going to rewire it it's like you can't untangle it at this point. We have to throw it away and try to create something new, which I
Okay,
feel.
God, let's just go ahead and flood the earth for 40 days and just start over again.
But I'm saying, like, we don't have, you feel me, in terms, let's go, just to get back to the argumentative part, it's like we just don't innately care about the same things. And that's what I think the difference is more than anything. And there's a disconnect between how we express it to you as a woman and how you express it to us as men. And until we can kind of bridge that divide through adequate communication, I think it's always going to be an issue. And I've been in situations where it's like, all right, you say something or you feel like you're walking on eggshells, because what I found out is that you can't say man stuff to women. Like, you can't.
Example?
In terms of like just like how I talk, you know what I'm saying? Men are more, like, at least me personally, I'm more of a aggressive talker, keep it 100. And granted, some girls can take it, but some girls can't. And then naturally, I feel like most women don't want you to talk to them the way you talk to your homies, which is like cool. I mean, if that's your,
I'm still waiting on the example. How you be talking? You be talking real greasy.
I mean, I talk like I'm with my dog.
Okay.
Like
Like
I'm trying to be PC here, but I mean,
man, okay.
I'm all right. Let me stop. I ain't gonna be PC now.
You said that last episode.
Yeah, I did say that. I do have a job.
See, I watch his stuff. See,
Okay.
there, y'all should tune in.
Yeah, tune in. I have a job, but I mean, like, put it this way: ain't nobody trying to hear all that soft ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, ain't no, like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's not that a man don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we don't like dealing with emotions a lot, I guess you would say. Like, I don't like dealing with sad stuff if I can help it. Like, how we release, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you might go out with your girl or you might vent and all that. Dudes, we'll sit and watch the game and vibe, and that's just take it away. We won't talk about it, but we know that it was a
Is that
getaway.
Compartmentalizing though, more so than it is coping? Because you're still not dealing with it, and when it comes back up again, you're looking like, dang, why we keep having the same arguments? What are you doing different? Like, what are you doing to deal with it? And that's a lot of times what I see, especially with my men clients. It's hard to be like, I need to deal with this or how to deal with it, because your goal is to get rid of it, and y'all are very solution focused versus like everything doesn't need to have a solution. Like, if your girl is coming to you and saying, hey, you know, this bothered me, she's not really asking you to like fix a problem, but y'all go into Mr. Fix-It mode. Sometimes you just want to be seen and heard and understood. Okay,
I feel that. And it's just, I think I get that. I'll totally accept that one. You know what I'm saying?
1 point.
1 point. I need to put
just keep a little tracker.
Yeah, keep a tracker on 1 right there. I feel that. I ain't really got much else to say on that. I can't, because it's not like I feel like I'm right. I just feel like it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it should be this way, but I feel like some stuff is black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we don't get the past to be as vulnerable as you guys, and because of that, it's just how we have to operate. Like, we can't operate in that same space. And granted, a lot of it, like you said, is rearing. I come from a single parent household. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have both interactions. My family did the best they could to kind of create both sides through the village that raised me. But at the same time, when you don't have it, you don't have it. And I think it's a lot of us, black and brown young men and women, that definitely deal with that. And it rears itself, because I see a lot of dudes that are raised by single moms. No bash on single moms ever. You know what I'm saying? Never. But I see a lot of dudes that are raised by single moms, and they have their emotions less in check a lot of times when they are faced with adversity, versus me being raised by my pops. I remember being that kid that I used to throw stuff when I lose. I hated lose. I still hate losing, but I got it under control. He was like, "Nah, you got to get that under control," and he, snapped me right into it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I completely understand.
Versus being told that by somebody that has a little bit more of an emotional appeal to how they live their life, and you see that even though she's trying to snap you back into it, it's not the same, because how she moves through the world, you see that, and she moves in a more emotional way than a guy would, at least in my opinion and what I've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I give you that. I feel like, again,
got my point back.
Okay. I feel like women are definitely given the safe space to be vulnerable, but then it's like you got women and you have black women. So a lot of times we gotta carry that strong black woman like syndrome of always having to be strong, always having to put people first. So a lot of times if she's catering to you or trying to get you to open up, like that's her and that strong black woman. Like I'm the help man. I'm supposed to help him. And we're reared like that to always be a helper. And then if we're seen as not really caring about you or not giving a damn about you, then it's just like we're not wife material. So I think it is all about our community and how we look at relationships, because then you rear women once you either rear them to be wives or not need a man. And that's where we struggle. And then men are just like, they're pushing off time so they don't have to be in committed relationships. Like, it's like, how long can I wait before I settle down? So you're never put in these situations to learn how to be in relationship because you're so busy fighting it off. And since we both are having our own struggles, it's hard for us to be in healthy relationships together. But going back to what you said earlier, when it comes to what we're looking at the standards of the world, we're at that point where you have to redefine what that looks like. And nobody wants to say that. Be accountable. Like, I could either act like I'm from the 1950s or 2021, and I choose to be 2021. And just like you said earlier before we even got on here, that you didn't know how to do all this and you figured it out. So why don't you apply that to like being vulnerable and transparent with your significant other?
Yeah, with your significant other, I definitely agree. I'm saying that I think the reason it's so hard for dudes is because you come from a, like you said, we're pushing off commitment and being in those
Man,
relationships.
y'all running from it. Okay,
Well,
listen.
I don't.
Damn.
Yeah, I think there's more to that, and I'll touch on that after this. But I think, like you said, pushing off commitment because of feeling like you got to be in a certain place, which I agree with the whole Steve Harvey notion of that you men are on like a financial clock and women are more on a biological clock in terms of like moving forward. If you're trying to like start a family, if those are your traditional goals and whatnot,
Right.
and I just feel like even I don't remember the guy's name, dude who started jumping jack taxes with the beard on IG. Him and his wife started jumping.
It's Dana Chanel and Prince
Prince,
something.
yeah, I think his name is Prince.
Yeah.
So
Ain't they going to jail?
I don't know.
They ain't in this podcast.
I don't even know.
My bad.
I ain't that you just hit me with some news if that's the truth. But one thing that I did hear him say that I felt kind of strongly about was like he said, man, look, you either got cash, credit, or a trade. You feel me in terms of as a man to provide and do and just take care of yourself and be in position to do what you're supposed to do. In terms of the natural order of things, if you believe in that with nature or whatnot. And I was like, dang, so I am not in a position where I have really any ownership or assets like that. Obviously, college and playing ball and just different things that put me in a position to be a little bit not really behind, but just where I am.
That's
you know
exactly
what I'm saying?
what it is.
You feel what I'm saying?
College is like, ooh.
Yeah, so it put me in a position where I was like, all right, well, time to play catch up. Granted, you have the network too,
right?
Because of the things and the sacrifices you made, and you got a lot of different doors you can call and step into roles, and obviously you don't have to have it all figured out,
right?
But not having any of it, I mean, that was along the lines when I started Unconquered Fitness, when I started doing the podcast to pull myself up out of, when I started applying to grad school, because I was like, all right, I got to get some cash, so let's start training people.
Yeah.
I got to get some credit. All right, when I go back to school, what I'm going to do is start using my credit cards a little bit more and pay them off or whatnot.
Smart.
And then, in terms of a trade and whatnot, I picked up photography outside of ball now because it's like, all right, photography, videography is something that I love to do now at this point. Fell in love with it. But now also, it's like, I can use that to make bread. So healthcare, fitness, photography is kind of the three things and three realms that I kind of stay within.
Right.
And it's like, all right, now that I know some type of direction, I don't feel like I'm wasting anybody's time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm wasting time because what if those paths take me farther away? You feel me? And like we talked before this podcast, like 99% of whatever you're doing before you get married has to fail for you to get married and end up with that.
All of it.
You know what I'm saying?
At least with relationships,
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I didn't take that notion. Like, I'd never even heard that until you said it to me. But it's just like, all right, it makes sense now why you got to get yourself together, because you going to sacrifice getting yourself together and not be the best version of yourself for that person that you're supposed to be with. Yeah. So I started to, just to approach life a lot differently going into, 2019 and to this very day and me getting ready to move next week. So it's that I don't think that it's like not being vulnerable and whatnot as a man in terms of with my significant other. I think it's like when you're trying to do all this as a dude,
Mm-hmm.
you can't give people that edge to F you over, you know what I'm saying?
Only if you see vulnerability as like kryptonite, but it's supposed to be a superpower. Like no one can use your vulnerability against you. It's yours.
I feel that.
So yeah, it's just
So
your perspective. You have to really have a mindset shift about that because it's yours. How can somebody use something against you that belong to you?
I feel you. And that's where I think the whole concept of people only working for money and stuff like that
Ooh.
runs them into that what you just said, that issue. Because I
Yeah.
feel like you can't really use anything against me now because I'm in alignment with what I need to be doing.
Your
Like I figured it
purpose.
out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
And I think a majority of people haven't figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know if you're passionate about something, people can feel that. I've gotten
Yeah,
so
for
many
sure.
blessings and so much help from training people because I've just been really, really
You love what you
passionate about
do.
helping people. Like
Yeah.
I just want to help people. Even with the healthcare stuff, like I have no idea what I'm walking into going into next month in turn.
Listen, but
But
hands is open for all the blessings.
that's what I'm saying. So like it's just you walk in the door and it's like, all right, I'm gonna attack this with everything I got because I know at the end goal, even if I'm not the actual provider cutting somebody open and fixing the bone or organ.
Yeah.
I started to go that route. But I was
Look,
like,
Grey's Anatomy, the hell you thinking that?
yeah, all
I
right,
couldn't do
it's
it. I was
not
like,
real.
listen, I'm gonna
It
find
is
another way to be a doctor.
fiction. It's fiction.
It's one of my
Do
favorite
not
shows
do it.
ever.
Yeah, I need to catch up on last week's episode.
Listen.
Don't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
all right.
won't.
But that was good. So anything else to say about that before I go to the next joke?
I mean, I guess I was just thinking about like how he said that everyone, like him and the significant other, just was always argumentative, and I think I'm just like, so why are you both on the defensive? Because it just if you're trying to prove a point to each other, then it's like, why are you both on the defense? Why are we so quick to grab offense? That's what I guess I was wondering. Like, why are y'all arguing? Because everything is not an argument, and the goal is when we think about conflict, you guys are working together to solve a conflict. Like the relationship is bigger than a conflict. So why are y'all fighting each other to solve a conflict? It just doesn't, seem
Right.
I like y'all just toxic. That's it.
Yeah, and like I said, I feel where she's coming from on that because I think the whole defensive thing is because men don't want to be vulnerable. I think that's why we get so defensive. We don't want to be put in that position where we have to feel that stuff that we feel like is weakness.
So what would happen if you felt it? Like, was the world gonna come?
Now you just feel weak. You know what I'm saying? You feel weak.
Okay, so if you felt that way, what was gonna happen? Was the world gonna blow up, explode? Okay, what was your head gonna cave in? Like, what's gonna happen if, for some odd reason, you felt an emotion titled maybe weak? What's gonna happen? Like, you have this big, like, imagination of thinking like what weakness is or what it would do to you if you ever experienced it, but you cannot always be strong. So it's an unrealistic expectation you putting on yourself, you putting on other men in your life. That you can't meet that.
I feel you. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying like I think that's the culprit out here in terms of that emotional disconnect between a man and his significant other.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
I think love's overrated.
Oh, before we go, this is Michael Che. Saturday Night Live.
Big purr.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a very known guy. You know who he is if you watch any type of comedy or regular television or whatnot. But Michael Che talking about marriage.
Like is better than love to me, man. You know the difference between like and love? Obligation. You like somebody, you just like them until you don't like them no more, and then you stop taking their calls. You love someone, you obligated to that person forever, man, even after you don't like them anymore. Friends is getting married and stuff. I don't want to get married because I still think that I could be rich someday. And marriage is for poor people. Anytime a rich dude proposes to a woman, I feel like he's saying, hey, I bet you half my I'll never cheat on you.
Oh, wow.
Women don't like nice.
Okay. And y'all got a sneak peek into the next one. But basically he thinks marriage is a scam. Me personally, I don't think it's a scam. Okay. I think that we don't do enough due diligence in terms of dating to figure out who we should marry.
Mm.
I think that we take highlights from various events and experiences with people, and we try to, one, compare them, which is wrong, with the other person, but two, I think we end up in a situation where, how much long we got? We got like 3 minutes before I have to get up. But I think we do compare them, and it's wrong. And I think that we don't date how we used to, or we don't date how they used to back then, where you could talk to multiple people without somebody trying to make you feel like you got to commit because you just started talking to me. I think that's been an issue, at least in the crowds I've run in. Like, as soon as you start talking to somebody, it's like, I'm talking to her. You can't talk to nobody else or whatever, or somebody gonna feel away. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's not what dating is, in my opinion, or what
Agreed.
I thought it was. I thought dating meant that you date multiple people, you figure out what you like, just like me filtering out what I like and don't like, and I found photography, fitness, and healthcare.
Yeah.
I think you have to kind of do that with people, and I think we don't give ourselves the same grace when it comes to not choosing right, or making, I guess, a mistake. We see them as mistakes. Ain't really mistakes, it's just learning, but
Yeah.
we see them as mistakes, and we don't give ourselves the same amount of grace in terms of dealing with people, because soon as you hurt somebody, or somebody hurts you, or it doesn't work out, then there's this feeling of F everybody, or F all them, or like people just shut down, like, I'm gonna be cold hearted, or hot girl summer, city boys with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a
Hot
lot.
girls up 10,000. What you talking about?
Oh Lord have mercy. But yeah, I think that we do that, and it's just like, that gets to the point where it's like marriage is a scam, because that's the attitude, the hot girls, city boys, and then you get into marriage, and it's like, you never really took the accurate approach to do something as significant as spend your life with someone.
Yeah.
And you get into it, one, comparing those experiences, etc., and then you end up in a situation where it's like, all right, half, and it's like, damn.
And that's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never been here had I kind of did a little bit more research on myself, not even on the other person. I think dating is more about finding yourself than the other person. You know what I'm saying? Me personally.
What you like and don't like.
Exactly. And then once you figure that out, you know what you can and can't deal with, but you just kind of gotta do it in a way that isn't, I'm just shutting everybody off, or the moment I see something, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So, your take on that in terms of just marriage being a scam and those attitudes that come along with that?
You know what? I definitely don't think it's a scam. But marriage is a business partnership. As much as it's love, love is not the only thing it takes to make a marriage work. We know finances is like the number one thing why marriages dissolve anyway. So if you wouldn't enter into business with anyone, like you wouldn't add anyone on to your crew that you feel like wasn't gonna project you to where you're going, why would you enter into a marriage that wouldn't do the same thing? So you guys have to be equally yoked. I think a lot of times that we have people that just don't know what they want. And I agree with you when you said, like, dating is about dating multiple people. Like, everybody just like, oh my God, especially I'm going to say women, because I'm coming for us because I want to see us win. We talked to one guy for a good 2 weeks straight, and y'all just cut off everybody for why? You don't even have a ring or a title, and would not, like, you put all your eggs in one basket, and then when the basket breaks and all your eggs broken, you the one looking upset. So I really try to talk to women as far as like, you're only monogamous when asked, and if he don't ask, then most likely he's not ready. Like, you can bring it up, but once you bring it up, even at one time, like, that whole what are we, if he ain't saying he want to be with you, then okay, see you, boo. Like, don't even take it, like, internalize it like I'm less than, or he doesn't see me as wifey. It's just like, no. If he doesn't find value in you, then you at least have value enough in yourself to know to keep on dating. So I really want us to do better about that. But the whole idea that it's a scam, it sounds like you just real hurt, or the comedian is like really hurt, because with healthy relationships and healthy marriage, it's two whole people coming together, not two halves. It's two whole people coming together. So when you're so sure in yourself, you want someone that mirrors that. Like, the person that I'm dating has to be my reflection. So everything that I pour into myself, he got to be able to do that too, and vice versa. So relationship, we're meant to be in community with each other. We're meant to be in relationships with each other. So to have that belief, it doesn't serve you. Now, if you want to just go around here being bitter, like he what it's saying, like he was saying, like these are for the bitter individuals, then that's up to you. But psychology is this thing where we first as individuals have a belief. Then we find evidence to support that belief. So say if I have the belief that all men cheat, I can go out on social media and find evidence that will support the belief that all men cheat. But imagine if I changed that belief to all men do not cheat. I literally just added one word, which was not. I can go out there and see, oh, okay, LeBron and Savannah, Denzel and his wife, whatever the case may be. I can find people in my own community. So you have to decide what are your core beliefs about yourself and about relationships. And then you will find evidence out in the world that will support that. But it starts with you.
For sure. I definitely think you find what you're looking for when you get out here and move and maneuver however you're going to maneuver in the dating scene, for sure. I think it goes back, and I'll reach back to what we were talking about earlier. I think the reason he says that in terms of just being, obviously it's jokes, but like I said, we use this podcast to talk about the things under the joke that actually are conversations that need to be had. And as far as that one, I think it goes back to vulnerability. Like, let's say you are a guy, and women are on their stuff nowadays. Like, it's a lot of women that's outperforming guys in the work world, money, etc. But let's say you are a guy. Yeah, do your thing. Have fun.
Yeah, listen. Period.
You are a guy and you got, a lot of, things that you created for yourself, a life that you created for yourself, etc. And then you join forces with somebody, but you've seen so much foul, because I went to University of Miami. I was in Miami. I've been in and out of South Florida for the last 7 years, and I'm going back. Not in the same position I was in before, obviously, but it's just like you see a lot of stuff. You see a lot of stuff between being a young kid at 18 to a young man at 25, 26. And you see a lot of women that move grimy out here. And it doesn't mean that, it's going to happen to you. But I think you got to realize, like, the environment you're in. I think down there it's a lot tougher to find someone that isn't on that BS. And I think it skews your perception of, moving forward with somebody that can make a man, once again, be scared of being vulnerable and putting himself in that position. Now, that means he doesn't trust himself and his judgment.
Hello. Because that's really what it is. And he's projecting.
Yeah. I'm not saying, like I said, I don't think it's everybody, and I don't think that, is impossible. But I think there's a lot of brokenness in terms of, like you said, the perception and what you're looking for. Yeah. You go out here and you're looking at people like, all right, she look good, or that person look good, or whatever, and it's like, all right, I'll talk to her. And then you get to talking, you're like, I don't know if I quite trust you because of some stuff you seen beforehand, or in the shadows. Like, it's things that I think in the back of people's minds, they say, all right, this could happen. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of stuff could happen, right? So I get it. I get where you're coming from, and probably what your next point is. I'm not going to say I know it, but I'm pretty sure that along what lines it's coming. But it's just, I think that's why a lot of men feel like it's a scam. It's like, I do all this, and then let's say I get more successful and we hit a bump in the road. I've seen far less loyalty from women with dudes that don't have money, let alone somebody that got money. Like, if I can get half and I'm not happy, then I'm gonna slide. Like, I've seen stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're allowing your environment to dictate how you see women. And I feel like it's such a skewed perspective to see, like, all women, because that messes up for, like, good women that really don't feel that way, just because, okay, we have patterns as humans, so why are you picking the same type of girl? Like, that's really the problem. Like, why are you attracted to this type? So that has nothing to do, because maybe try a different type. Let's try that. But yeah, I think, and this is just from my perspective, that it's a lot of still pushing off accountability. Like, even when you said just now about vulnerability, you said, like, it doesn't make us want to be vulnerable. Like, we stop putting it off on us. Like, it's up to us to make you vulnerable. It has nothing to do with us.
I ain't saying that.
No, but I'm just saying your idea of even how you worded it, that's how a lot of men perceive it. Like, it's, well, they the reason that I'm up here in the streets, or they the reason I don't, like, women just do it. Is it women or is it you? You know? And I mean that to be that you literally have the power to choose who you decide to let into your life. And not saying that all women are angels, because we know that that's not realistic. But I feel like, again, there are a lot of women that end up getting hurt trying to be faithful and loyal to men that are not ready or that don't know themselves. Like, to me, and this is a skewed perspective, I can say that women are casualties in men healing. Like, you working to be the man that you want to be as a husband and as a father. But imagine, like, you even look at your dating history, how many women did you hurt before you decided, okay, I'm going to turn my shit around and I'm ready to, be this one for this one. Like, women are just casualty in all of this. So, I can't have a skewed perspective as a woman, but, and not that men can't be casualties for women, but it's a lot of times that men will place blame, or anybody will place blame and not think like, how did your dating history look? Who did you hurt that you just didn't give a damn about? You were just like, man, I'm out here. Like, I don't know. So you could think of it as a scam, but if you want to have a different belief, then you can have that too.
Yeah, and I'm not totally in disagreement or agreement. I think that.
So you just didn't want to give me that point. Got it.
I'll give you the point.
Bing. Got it.
But I think, like you said, men can be casual, women can be casualties. I think that a lot of, like you said, the dating history, because I've had some survivor's guilt, just from past relationships. It's just like, I don't like hurting people that I care about. Like, me personally, I like women that I've cared about or been with or had relationships with or just been dating. If it hasn't worked out, it might have affected me. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I didn't show it. Once again, the macho bravado. I can't.
Toxic masculinity.
I'm a victim to it. You call it what you want. I'm getting better at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not staying in the same spot. But I've had like survivor's guilt on this journey of being better and figuring myself out in some ways too. It's like, all right, dang, you feel me? I went through that and that didn't work out because I wasn't in this place. You know what I'm saying? And I learned from that. So I just try to take what I learned and try not to feel as guilty about hurting people that I've loved or liked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In terms of women. But granted, I mean, I've been hurt too. I've had people that don't see me in that light, or I've had like green stuff done to me, you know what I'm saying?
I say now that's the preference. We're not talking necessarily about preferences, because if I just don't feel you like that, I'm gonna be honest. Like, most that I can do.
I've been led on before.
Okay, what's led on?
Like she rocking with me, and then it just ain't working no more. Randomly, like, what? So
you don't think people can say we're
but
dating?
It wasn't like stated. It was like, you feel me? And I like. Put it this way, communication wasn't where it needed to be.
There we go. Okay, I'll give you that.
Ding.
No, yeah, communication does play a huge role in it, because I think some people just take it. Now, I've seen people take it offensively, like, he led me on or she led me on, and I'm just like, did you communicate your intentions of what you wanted? Like, was it communicated? Did they say, hey, I want to be with you? And
because it opened them up to be hurt.
Nobody wants to be honest. That's the thing. Nobody wants to be honest.
Say what they really mean, because it's like, this might hurt somebody else's feelings.
Would you rather hurt them with honesty or a lie? Because my thing is, be honest with me. If you don't want to be with me, man, tell me right now. Do not wait until I'm head over heels or I'm thinking and we're working towards marriage, and really you were never in the mindset to even work towards that.
I feel you. I'm the same way. Like, the last thing I would ever be to anybody I've ever talked to is worship. If you don't want to talk to me, let me know. Because
man, come on, Fantasia.
I'm giving you up. If you
don't want me to talk to me, listen.
Throw it there and deal there.
Listen.
We got a laughing problem over here. See how I did that? You know
what plugs in, link in bio for t-shirts, man.
Right? I gotta get some laughing. Just put a big emoji in my chest. But now, I can't. I cannot be the guy, and I would even say that part of that is like vulnerable too, like issues with men want to be vulnerable. At least me, it's just like, bro, I don't like. Maybe you want to double text somebody or express like more, but you ain't getting it back. So it's like, all right, hold up. I don't want somebody over there looking at the message like, girl, look at this man right here. He just
We
always
don't
on my
trust
phone.
each other. That's the problem. Us as sexes don't trust each other because, like, you already have this mentality that she's probably like, ah, man, he whack or
Trying to
he,
play me, you know?
man, yeah, like, bro, this bruh so sprung. And, you know, I hate that that's an experience, but who gets to lead and say, I'm going to be vulnerable first, even if it doesn't pan out? And you be vulnerable and say they still don't feel it. Then you know to let them go. Like,
True.
you get just as much from your failures that you get from your wins. So it's not even a failure. There's really no such thing as failure at this point when it comes to relationships. It's either going to work or it's not. But why would you cut off certain parts of yourself out of fear? Like, we're operating out of a mindset of fear. You could just be honest, and then if that person feels you, then you can be like, dang, I can be myself. I can say how I feel. Like, that feels good. Than to have a mask on in your relationship, like we had a masquerade ball.
Yeah, and I think social media doesn't help that because everybody got a mask on right now. Like, well, I ain't gonna say everybody. Let me take that back. I ain't really got no mask on. I'm just who I am. Even me doing
you
this.
You ain't vulnerable. What do you mean?
I am. I'm just. I've said I've had issues with it. I'm a lot. Way.
So you have like the two-face mask, like one mask on your face, like tuxedo mask. Now, what was the Phantom of the Opera where they got like the one mask on?
No, I mean, I haven't with my relationship. I'm vulnerable, but I'm not vulnerable with like everybody. I'm talking about just in my relationship.
Are you vulnerable to your parents?
Yes and no.
You see how you just did that?
Yes and no.
So you can be vulnerable with somebody, but not your parents. Like,
I don't want to be. My issue with parent vulnerability has been always because I'm the only boy. I was pronounced dead at birth, premature, and there's a lot of worry about if I'm going to be okay. But my thing is, I'm gonna be okay because I'm gonna handle what I'm supposed to handle. I can't tell a parent not to worry. But what I can do is make sure I handle my business so they don't have to worry. So, like, if I gotta
what do you gotta do with being vulnerable?
That means if I'm going through certain things, like if I'm trying to, figure it out, like.
So you just isolate and withdraw.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. My thing is that I get it done. You know what I'm saying?
But
the light went off.
We've been talking for 24 hours, y'all.
I got the battery right there. So that's crazy. Like I said, I wouldn't even say it's not vulnerable because I mean they can tell. I've never been great at hiding things. I'm a terrible ass kisser. I can't do it. I don't like. If anything, like you said, I'll withdraw or be quiet, and I'll just be like, all right, what I gotta do, like to get myself out this circumstance because obviously I've said what I've said or I feel how I feel, and it's not being taken into consideration. So I look at it like, can I do something about it? Yes. All right, let me do it. Can I do something about it? No. All right, well, I ain't gonna worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
More so like when you like stressed, like do you feel like I can go to my parents and not that?
Yeah. I feel like I can talk to them, but I just like I said, if it's nothing I can really do about it, then it's like, all right, let's feel it for a day or two, and then let's move forward. Or if I like, I've been through stuff with both parents emotionally. Dad and I were basically rocking it how we was rocking it while I was growing up, and then we lose the house, market crash, all that stuff, and just homeless for a couple weeks, and just me playing ball. I mean, him coming to all the games. So it's a relationship that's like no other. So it's I can't really hide it. Like he know me too well.
But you be trying to.
I mean, it ain't even that I be trying to. It's just that I'm a soldier. You know what I'm saying? And soldiers
can't have.
No, you can, but soldiers don't complain about things that come with the war. They understand what they signing up for.
So when they have PTSD,
I'm not saying that forgive me, Army, because I'm not trying to say I'm really a soldier. Like I'm using it rhetorically, but for the most part, like when you sign up for that, like it's like all right, it's I'm going in.
Right, but that's then they come back and just think about it, they come back and they're so impacted because they didn't even have like mental health care over there or they didn't have these resources. They come back and the country act like they don't give a damn about them, like and they suffering in silence. So I think we're still putting these stigmas on men will say about suffering in silence. So the reason I asked you, like, can you be vulnerable to your parents? Not that, that doesn't mean you can't be vulnerable in relationships, but these are like our first real ideas of what relationship is with our parents or our caregivers. So it's like, it can be, it can kind of predict if you can be vulnerable in relationships based on how vulnerable you are with the people that made you.
Yeah. I think, in regards to that, I think if we say if that's what it is, then it's a lot to unpack there, and I'll think about that because it just like I said, I don't think
Get the journal because it kind of asks questions about your parents and your relationship. Okay, just saying.
I think it's a thing where, like I said, it's not really that I don't want to be vulnerable. Because, I mean, my parents not being together, it was always, all right, let's go up here, and then I'm here. You feel me? I'm home here, but then I want to go visit mom. So I got ball and stuff, and that's something that I do with my dad. And then still even, to throw my auntie in the mix of, you feel me, being at the daycare and helping her out. And just different things that go on, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm being, I'm having to figure out how to insert myself in places so everybody kind of gets a piece of me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not saying that, like, they, you feel me, like, wanted to or tried to put me in no position like that. It's just how I care. When I care about you or I care about, you feel me, a person or a situation, like, I'm trying to do everything that I can to keep it some type of balance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a lot of responsibility on just one person, huh?
It is. But, I mean, what else was I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like, all right, well, what can I do? And I do the things that I can do. It's not even like, you feel me, like even complaining or whatever about this or how you feel about that. It was like, I won't say fall on deaf ears because I didn't say it. I can't say it fall on deaf ears if I don't say the words. You know what I'm saying?
Do you wish you would have said the words?
No, because I mean, everything turned out how it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of me being or learning, you know what I'm saying? I would say learning. I ain't gonna say that it could have been better or worse because circumstances are what they are. Like, I read the circumstances, like, and was like, all right, well, this can or can't happen. Well, I don't want to put that type of stress on the other side to try to make this or that happen. You feel me? Even if it is something they can or can't do, like, I'm very empathetic for what, you feel me, people going through, and I don't want to put more on somebody, whether they feel like it's their duty or not. Like, I was like, all right, let me do what I'm gonna do. Let me figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make you try to figure it out because I know you dealing with this or you dealing with that. I'm gonna try to figure it out.
That's the mentality I be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to get better, and I've even thought about, like I said, once I move and get going and to my life down there, like doing therapy or whatever. Because I don't know, like,
come on now.
Like, I'm not averse to it. I think that we all, you feel me, have stuff that we can unpack, stuff that we really need to actually have conversations about.
And it doesn't mean you crazy.
And I don't know, I don't think it means you crazy. I think there's something powerful about being able to talk to somebody that doesn't know you or have a preconceived bias either way.
Right.
Versus you trying to say something. And we talked about this on the last podcast with my boy Corey. Just like being able to, express and talk to somebody like, all right, bro, I feel this way because of that. Because it might be about the person that you would usually try to express it to. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you don't want them to feel like you coming off in a certain way. Yeah. You want them to understand, like, hey, this, that, and the third, whatever the thing is about. You know what I'm saying?
But you're also, it's like, it's a double-edged sword because you also are not responsible for how people perceive what you say. All you can do is be honest. I mean, you could probably say, I'm going to say this the nicest way, or you make sure that it has this type of tone, but people are going to perceive things the way they want to, and that's their responsibility, not yours.
True. I feel it. And that's why I said the whole thing beforehand about not saying man stuff to women, like, in a man, like caveman type tone.
Like what? You never gave an example.
I mean, I don't really know any examples off the top of my head.
You don't want to say it on air. Just say that. Okay.
But nah, yeah, like, you feel me? Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. And this is probably against everything because I'm a trainer as well. But let's just say, like, body shaming. Like, if you talking to a girl, you be like, hey, look, you kind of gaining weight. You talking to your homeboy, like, bro, you fat, bro. You need to lose that. You know
so
what I'm saying?
You don't think men got feelings?
Nah, but we do, but, like, it ain't taken the same way.
Or is it because
It's not taken the same way. If I say, hey man, you fat to a girl, granted, depending on who she is, she might be like, ah, you right, let me go ahead and get on my stuff. But like for the most part, most women ain't responding to that.
okay. Do you feel like you have to be direct with men because they have this persona of having tough skin that they can take it?
True, but then I'm the bruh, so
it's
terrible. The bruh, hey man, look, bruhs can
y'all
take
toxic in y'all self.
Hey man, look.
I meant what I said too. Oh my god.
Rude to the cues.
Okay.
I ain't gonna bark because it's gonna make the
Please
audio spike.
Don't do that.
Rude.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna play this. I almost said Chris Tucker.
Oh, child, you so disrespectful.
Not really. They both legends.
It don't matter. They're still individuals.
True. Chris Rock.
If he see this, he gonna be like, "Nigga, you can't come in my house."
You know what, Chris
so
Rock?
Disrespectful.
Chris Rock, you gonna let me in your house because I don't know.
I'm like, play this clip. This is like when people be digging up old tweets, dig up this old video.
You meet Chris Rock. I'm gonna meet Chris Rock. I'll be dapping up. Then after that, he gonna see it on Twitter. Nah, remember Malik? You almost called Chris Rock Chris Tucker.
Man, listen.
And you know this man. All right, let's get these little whatever's out the way.
It's the clicks for me.
I just don't understand why it does it.
I think it just warns you. I think it's a good warning.
All right, let's see what he's talking about.
Say they do. Don't.
Oh no, we gotta rewind that
They
a little
got
bit.
to have an asshole.
See the little magic mouse is magic.
Women don't like nice guys. Say they do. Don't. They got to have an asshole first. Every woman goes through an asshole phase. They gotta go with Ike, then Mike. That's right. You know what's bad? If you're a nice guy like me, you always get women after they've been out with an asshole. So now you gotta be their boyfriend and their psychiatrist to help them get over this psycho. That's right.
Okay.
For every 20 minutes of pussy,
She already feel away.
I do.
All right, that's the end of the clip. Obviously, there's more to that, and you can go look that up if you want to see Chris. What's his name? I'm just if you want to go see Chris Rock. If you want to go see Chris Rock, that's like a 1996 excerpt from comedy.
Were you born then?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. Why you trying to play me like
that?
that? I'm finna turn 27. I'm
God.
I'm really about 57 because I paid rent last week. Yeah. My chest hurts.
Yeah, a couple of little hairs is poking out.
They gray too. Stress. Jesus Christ. But nah, the whole adage that women don't like nice guys, I think a majority of them, I don't know. I say yes, they don't because it's not really that they don't like nice guys. It's that they want somebody they feel like, is strong enough to, I guess, either be with them or protect them or something. It's a security blanket having somebody that you feel like is strong in the environment, the world's eyes. And then can be no, I'm not saying be an asshole. Like obviously, like don't be an asshole, but like there's a different energy when a dude that is assertive, I guess you would say, or powerful, but not like, you know what I'm saying, like not in a way that's like controlling. Like I would say in a way that's like when you walk in the room, like they know it's you. You know what I'm saying? Like
you can't be nice and do that.
Yeah, but you can be nice and do that. I'm saying you can, but I'm just saying like most women don't interpret that as that. They don't interpret.
I'm sorry. Where's the survey? Survey says what? Who you surveying to even answer that?
I'm surveying actions that I've seen and people who people choose.
Who are you? You the nice guy or you the asshole?
I'm a nice guy. I can be an asshole, but like I'm rarely an asshole. I don't even want to go that route. Like, I do my best to avoid situations that would make me have to be that asshole. Because once I'm at that point where I feel like I want to be the asshole, you're not going to win. Because I'm going to be the asshole that you didn't want to meet. You know what I'm saying?
So you're willing to change your character to prove a point versus just leave?
No, it's not necessarily that. It's just that you tried me and I did everything I could to make sure that, like, you didn't put me in a position where now I got to be an asshole.
So now you got to get even.
Yeah.
Can we say toxic relationships?
Not toxic.
That's not. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
But you do that already.
But like I said, I'm working on myself. God ain't through with me yet. Ain't that what Steve Harvey said in his special in 1990 some? I don't know. Matter of fact, no, that might have been 2000. I was watching that in the 2000s.
Oh my.
Steve Harvey was hilarious. But anyway, but yeah, I'm a nice guy. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a Libra, you know what I'm saying?
Toxic.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
In reference to Libras, that's not even possible.
Okay. All right.
What are you?
I'm a Taurus.
What? You stubborn, yo.
It ain't.
You stubborn. That's crazy.
That's a stereotype.
Bullheaded.
No, I probably was stubborn in a past life, but no, I don't have to always be right.
True.
Except for at this point, because I'm right about this. That's toxic.
All right, well, I'll work on it then.
Okay.
Awareness is key.
Yeah.
Like, I'm aware.
Denial is definitely the first. We were in strict denial. You literally just said, I'm going to go there. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes people try you and you got to show them, like, bro, I'm not the one.
Bro, you ain't on the streets. This is a relationship. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I feel you. And granted, I did get off topic because I wasn't talking about within a relationship. Because what I heard that changed a lot of my perspective on that was, like I said, and I mentioned this, I think, last podcast too, maybe. Toby, the guy who Toby Nwigwe, I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, I know.
But he was saying him and Fat, he found out it's better to be on the same page or one accord than it is to be right when they disagreeing on something.
Definitely. The relationship is always bigger than the conflict. I try to preach that. Like, it has to be.
I definitely, I don't move that way in relationships.
Unless he literally just said he did, though.
I was talking about in just like the world, but in relationships, I try not to, because my thing is, like, I don't like arguing. I do not like arguing, bro. Like, I don't feel like
what is considered arguing?
Like getting like to the point where we ain't even talking about
getting what?
Getting.
Come on, toxic masculinity.
I was gonna say getting too emotional about like the situation instead of like saying like, all right, let's pull back. Let's actually have, because once you get really emotional, a lot of times logic will jump out the door because you feel some type of way. You ain't really thinking about it. You just reacting on how you feel. Okay. And that's when I'm like, all right, we gotta pull back. And and I think that's why I withdraw more than anything in terms of just any type of vulnerability, because it's like a lot of times I've gone through stuff in my head before the situation ever comes up, and I'm like, all right, when the situation come up, I've already logically thought about this before I got emotional. So when I get emotional, I should make that decision. If I feel like I can't, then let me withdraw. Because it's like, all right, I'm finna go back on what I know is the most, I guess you would say, reasonable, or I don't know the word I'm looking for, but the thing that I think is right. Like, I've gotten away from that because of my emotions. Let me step back, check myself, get back even, and then I can actually attack this with the same sound logic or principles or whatever I chose to make this decision based on from there, and not from up here. Because once I'm up here, it's like,
no, you need to know your triggers for sure, but I think you're still might be operating out of like your solution focus and you're trying to fix it yourself when the conflict needs to be the both of you. So even if you're saying like, I need to take a step back, then a lot of people fail to communicate that to their partner. Like, one thing I like to do is say like, hey, I see this is getting real hot. Let's take 30 minutes. I'm going to call you back. Let's take an hour. Like, let's parking lot it. Like, we got a special word and just be like, let's parking lot it, or let's park it. And then I'm going to call you back at this time, or you call me back, and then we'll discuss it. So I think a lot of time when instead of just shutting down, if you feel like I'm about to, then just even offering that as an option. So they can know, okay, we're still going to be good. We're still working to work this out. We just need a break.
Yeah. People definitely get tired emotionally, because it's not like your relationship isn't the only thing that you deal with throughout the day.
Yeah, and you want peace in your relationship.
Yeah, like, and that's one of the things they always preach at home. Like, I mean, not at home. They preaching like when you trying to get to the league or play sports, like, take care of the crib, because the crib out of line, you ain't gonna be focused when you come in here
at all.
And when you come in here to this job, this thing that we do as athletes on any level, at any whatever, especially football. But like, if you're not on point, man, you could get hurt bad.
Very much so.
I mean, we talking about you risking brain injuries and spinal fractures every play, depending on how you get hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like things like that. Like you can't come in here unfocused and not ready to do your job. For some people, it's a getaway. Like I found that just as recently as a couple weeks ago, that one of my triggers is just that when stuff is thrown at me on like a moment's notice, and it just throws off my plan, because I plan a lot, like as you can see in here and the board, and just like I plan a lot. So for me to say, all right, I'm trying to get this done, that done, and I got it on my schedule at these times. I try to factor in breaks because that's something I never used to do. Take breaks, which is unhealthy. But then stuff will get sprung on me. It's like, all right, I gotta figure this out. Dang, another thing, and it's always gonna be stuff to deal with. So I'm just like, all right, I go work out. You feel me? And that helps me relieve stress. So some people use their job or their sport or whatever, in my world, as that release as well. So when you got the pandemic hitting for some people, like last year and whatnot, and we talk about women don't like nice guys and whatnot, just to get back on that point, like a lot of people don't have these same outs anymore because stuff closed down. They're forced to sit in there and deal with their partner, and they don't have an escape when they do get on that emotional high, because they don't know how to communicate.
You need multiple coping skills though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people I don't think know them. I don't even really know them. I just kind of figured out how to do it.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really like, I just look at it like, I look at a lot of stuff and I'm like, all right, why do I feel this way? What triggered this? Like I'm a very to the root type person. I always have been. I think that's why I'm gonna be great in healthcare. And I'm not afraid to say that, because I'm just like, all right, when we look at this issue, what is the issue at the root? Are we just trying to put a Band-Aid on it and stop the bleeding until we can get to a hospital, or do we need to perform surgery right now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's kind of how I just attack stuff. Granted, I need to
solution focus.
Yeah, I gotta learn the switch, and like you said, I gotta learn that some stuff you can't fix. You know? Like some stuff,
or it's not your like responsibility, because like you just need to be able to work with your partner. Like I think even now men have this like really, and that's that's a lot to put on them, that they have to fix it, or they have to be the only one. They got to know what the plan, because they got to lead. But I'm like, marriage and relationships are teamwork. So you should be working with your partner. If you can't work with her, or y'all can't work as a team, y'all never gonna be good together anyway. Like we working together.
True. I feel you. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it has been. Oh, we went over.
Did we?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. An hour and 5.
Okay.
Don't really matter. I ain't gonna take too much more of your time. But those were the 3 jokes. I actually had some jokes that I didn't play. I cut them out. One of them talked about divorce rates and whatnot, and how first divorce, like 50% of marriages end in divorce, and then 60 something, and then the third one is like 75 something. Oh, he said that's a learning curve.
That's terrible. That is so terrible.
And then he was like, another reason he thought marriage was you feel me, like impossible. He was like, he thought monogamy was impossible he said for men, probably physically, but he said he think it's just as hard for women, but for more like
emotional,
specific or complicated reasons. You know what I'm saying? And that I put notes down about that. We could talk about that before you go. But the thing when he said that, I was like, all right, I get where he coming from, because I don't think when he says monogamy is a challenge in terms of that, like I think we talk about cheating and we only look at the physical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't look at like emotional, and I think a lot of women cheat emotionally. But granted, they might not.
So men don't cheat emotionally?
I said we do.
Oh,
I'm saying we do, but like we look for, when people look for cheating, they look for males to physically cheat. When a man finds out his girl is cheating, he know it's worse, because like
it's worse.
No,
Drake.
Bad. Let me bag up.
Goodness.
Bad choice of words. But he feels, I don't even know how to say it, but basically he's seeing it like, dang, she must really like the dude. Versus a dude, when he cheating, most time he don't dudes don't be
Guys
liking the
cheat
girl.
for convenience. Let's be realistic. It's not because they love the other person or they trying to, start a life with them. Like, y'all cheat out of convenience, okay?
Folks just be horny, bro.
Convenience. This is easy to slide in here real quick. Without the lip,
folks
without
just
the
be
talking,
horny,
without
bro.
the emotions. It's women, if you say may cheat, sometimes it might be out of convenience too. But I think it's more so like a lack thereof feeling seen and heard and what we might get from our significant others or the side person. It's you feel heard, you feel seen, you feel understood. So
that's one thing I never like. Even when I was single, it was just like, all right, I ain't really trying to rock with nobody, girl. Cause granted, I
goes
understand,
around, comes around.
yeah, that, but it's like on one hand, I got homies that's like, man, if it was your girl and he could hit her, he wouldn't be thinking about you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm like, bro, it's green, but I mean, it's the truth.
All men do not think like that. There's
Nah,
some people that have some standards.
Yeah.
Some of them.
But it was just like I always felt like it's so much easier if a chick is having that moment of vulnerability or susceptible to you sliding in and, like you said, making her feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
Like, it's way easier for you to get in that. And I'm just like, bro, that's green. Like, I feel like it takes no skill to get someone that's wounded, so to speak.
Not wounded, because for all you know, she gonna leave you for him. Okay, you have like.
No, I'm not saying go with her. I'm saying like if you just trying to like grease, you know what I'm saying, or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like it can go either way. Like there's no I think you said earlier, like it's not really black and white when it comes to that.
Right? Yeah. It
just depends what one person is lacking, and like what I will give women, I feel like we will try to communicate. I need this from you. These are my needs.
Yeah, men won't do that.
Men like, damn, she got fat ass. Like, man, all right, we finna go to Miami, man. Look, bachelor trip. Yeah, we ain't look. Come, hey, whatever stays in Miami, like, yeah, it be on some like. Man, and y'all have the mentality of FOMO, like fear of missing out. Like if I settle down with her, I'm gonna miss out on all of this, and it's just like so you keep. Let me see if I still get.
That goes into not having a plan on them three things: the cash, the credit, the trade, and not being in alignment with what you want to do. Because when you're doing a lot, like I don't have time for
multiple women.
You know what I'm saying?
Juggling.
Like I'm trying to get my bread. I'm thinking about future kids. Like I'm thinking about a lot of other stuff that ain't. I can't.
Guys think about having kids.
I mean, I do. I want like 4 or 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I might change after. I paid rent.
Done.
I paid rent last week, so
that.
Might have a dog.
Can't afford that either.
That's what I'm saying. Some, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I think about all that from like a standpoint of like future building. It's just like I can't do both, and that's what I'm realizing in terms of like you saying it ain't my responsibility to fix everything. Or,
it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like. I realized that, all right, I can do a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to learn and nothing's going to stop me from getting to wherever I think I want to go. Granted, when you do a lot, you sacrifice quality of certain things unless you just have the money to buy the equipment and stuff. But if you don't have the content or the passion to do what you're doing,
right,
then nobody's going to feel it regardless of how good it look on screen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So what I realized is that I got to do what I can do to the fullest for the things that I'm passionate about. And I can't really worry about everything else. And I don't even have time to. And I'm looking at it now. I'm like, when I'm doing a podcast, like, do you know how long it takes to edit this and get it sent out?
I used to do those, and now I'm just like, I mean, I used to do that with YouTube as well. I'd be like,
yeah, so
I don't be having time.
It's tough to do it and do it in a way that is
up to your standard.
Yeah, up to what you think it should be. So a part of me is like, all right, I have to focus on something more than the other, and what I'm sacrificing, I still need to put out content, but maybe it's not as great right now. But when something hits and the opportunity grows, then I can focus more on that. Because what I found is people focus on what's more important. And right now, like in my life, is this new job and paying the rent and being able to eat. And
so just your career, you don't think you can?
No, I'm doing everything.
I'm about to say, you think you can have like the relationship and the career?
Like, oh yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of guys, I feel like, think they can't. They think they have to sacrifice. Like, I got to have my career right now. And, I can't be worried about being in a relationship. Not understanding that women really help like especially Black women, okay, will pivot you. You know.
I feel peace when I'm with the person. Like if I'm entering a relationship, I'm not entering it. And if I think that it's gonna be a hassle, like granted, it's a relationship is work. Like you learning people forever, and people are changing, ever changing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're always changing.
For sure.
But I think that you feel me. You find an escape in that if it's done correctly. And like I said, I've been through enough and had the survivor's guilt, and like I don't like hurting people and just things that I've learned about myself and stuff that I'm still working on so I can be better. So I don't feel like it's too much for me to be in one. Some other people might, depending on whatever their chosen career path is and whatever their time obligation they feel like it is. But I mean, you can make time. You just have to cut out all the BS, like you said, fear of missing out. Yeah. Like it is what it is. Like I'm not really missing out. And my thing that I also think is like, if I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life, what I'm rushing for.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Like that.
Like if I'm finna do podcasts the rest of my life, if I'm gonna do photography when I retire, if I'm gonna work out in general, just myself, not even training nobody else, but like if I'm just gonna work out and that's a part of my brand and recording and that and whatnot, and if I'm gonna do healthcare and be an administrator and work in hospital ops and help people,
be real busy.
That's what it is.
Just thinking what you avoid and that you gotta be so productive. I like productivity, but I also sometimes feel like we always feel like we have to be productive. We might be running from something, but I'm not trying to be his therapist.
No, I'm triggered by money because of what we went through when we lost the house.
Right.
So my thing
is having a trauma response to something that happened in the past.
I would say that, yes, I would say that, but my thing is that. I know that I can't focus on all of it all the time.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, burn out.
Yeah, I can't focus on all of it all the time. Yeah. So I just got to the point, like, even with Season Sundays on Unconquered Fitness, it's just like, I got to episode 5 and I'm just working on, producing that next episode to the best of my ability. I'm not going to do it until I move and get settled in when I have a little bit more time before I start working. Because I'm sitting here like, man, the last couple of weeks it's been training people, trying to get a little bit more bread, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So, yeah, it's just like, I can't do it all. But my thing is, if I'm going to do it for the rest of my life, what am I rushing for?
Right. And it's okay to like take breaks and put things down.
Yeah. And people do that. Like people act like these celebrities. See,
Beyonce put out a real album. I mean, you can call Black is King one, but we really ain't had no album since Every Day is Love. And that was what, 2-3 years ago?
That's what I'm saying. So like people act like these celebrities do not, what they've done is they've tricked people into thinking, and even in relationships, they trick people into thinking that you don't have to work hard. Yeah. Even to go as far as like the people that do like Forex and all that, they try to, not everybody, because some people actually learn it and know it. I know they get on some people's nerve because all they do is post like join my team, retire at 10 years old. But
oh my.
But I think that one of the things they try to sell people on is that it only took me 5-10 minutes to make this or whatever, and it's just like, bro.
Yeah, real instant.
You need to understand that game and know so much to be able to do that in 2-3 minutes and have a $10,000-$15,000 day trading. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of work. They trick people into thinking that you don't have to work hard, and that's what people that work hard do to eliminate competition. I'm going to make you feel like you don't have to work hard so I can not have to work as hard to work harder than you, and I still beat you. And now I don't even have to work as hard because you ain't working hard.
It's a very microwavable society, I think social media definitely plays a role in that because I think we look at what everyone has and think I should have that too, or that, like you said, it's easy. Like people might look at me and think, oh, she got her own private practice. Why is she doing this? I'm like, baby, I'm still in school. Like, I've been in school really all my life, and now I'm 30, and I'm getting my doctorate. Like, I'll be 31 when I get my doctorate. I still do that while trying to do speaking engagements, while trying to go to school, while trying to do private practice, while trying to do, like, it's a lot, but it's the consistency. People aren't consistent. And you look at social media and think, oh, they just blinked and it only took them a week or 2 weeks or a month to do this. Like, no, these folks been doing this for about 3 or 4 years and they just now, like, really making it.
Exactly. And that's another thing that I feel like, other than being triggered by money, knowing that, if I do it well and at the level that I aspire to do the thing, I know I have to be consistent, which is another reason that, like I said, I plan so much and I try to get everything done because I'm saying like I'm not gonna reach that level unless I'm consistent. So it's either you take everything that you're gonna do and you do it hard and work hard at it, or you have to pull back and figure out which industry are you gonna take the bet on.
Right. I mean, it's okay to pick something that's gonna get you like the money, and then you start pouring into your projects. Like, you know, like I knew I had the private practice first before I could start really focusing on other stuff that I love, like the creative part of doing things, because I needed the money to come in. So I definitely agree.
Yeah, there's levels to it, just like it's levels to these laughing problems I got. But this was a great episode. I appreciate you coming through.
I'm glad you had me. I'm really excited to see it air.
Yeah, because I got to go through and edit it, and it's going to be a lot of editing this time. Oh, my God. I mean, I should be able to match the sound pretty good between the SD card and here and there, but
it's a lot of cords over here y'all can't see.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. But we appreciate it for coming through. Great conversation. I got some stuff to work on. I think we finished it score 2-2.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's 2-2. So
I did.
Ding ding. You know what I'm saying? I think we finished there. So, but a lot of good conversation, a lot of stuff to work on. I know there's like 2 podcasts that's been on relationships. We're not talking about relationships no more the rest of the year. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, avoidance, but sure.
No, I just want to give the people something else. I should have started a relationship podcast. I need to change the name if I'm gonna keep doing relationships. But a lot of stuff that comedians talk about actually have to do with relationships.
And relationships are just not intimate partners. It's family, it's friends, it's work. Like all of you are in relationship in so many aspects of your life. So you're gonna continue to talk about relationships.
For sure. I guess I'm gonna keep talking about relationships then.
There we go.
We're gonna see what the future holds. But the next podcast, we're going to try to figure something else out. I don't know who. We might go Cat Williams and talk to somebody that smokes weed or something. Because I don't.
Oh, my word.
You know, somebody else might that want to be on the podcast. And we can, you know, talk about their experiences.
Good luck with that.
Ding.
I said good luck with that. That wasn't a point.
Oh, I was just...
I was my smiling. Bad. Oh,
okay. Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This will air on Spotify, YouTube, as soon as I can get it done. We out.
Peace.